Can I have the first slide on the screen? Kia ora tātou. Good morning. Okay. What happened? Okay, the names are coming. The Pioneer local government consists of 10 island governments, and they are located on the northern group, which are mainly atoll islands, very low islands, atolls like I suppose like many of you, of our countrymen, like in Kiribati and Tuvalu. And on the southern group, where we have volcanic islands, and which are high elevated islands. Okay, climate change have impacted our country since, I suppose, 1997. And in November during that year, we suffered lost lives, up to about 19 people when Cyclone Martin hit the atoll islands of Manihiki. And also in 2006, in 2005, we were hit by 6 cyclones within a period of 6 weeks, causing a lot of damage right across the country. And in 2010, Cyclone Pat again hit the country, damaging over 90% of the buildings and residences on the island of Aitutaki. And then recently, in December, we were also hit by another disaster, this time a drought, on 2 islands where we have to undertake activities to try and make water on one island, and also try to do the same thing on another one to make sure there's potable and drinking water available to the local population. Okay. The national government recognized that this thing is not going to change, it's going to continue on. So since 1997, national government has been engaged in a lot of activities in trying to build resilience in the islands. And also during that time, and up to about 2000, we have actually put together our national sustainable development plan, which covers basically 8 main goals. And under those main goals, there's one particular goal which is called Resilient and Sustainable Community. And it is underneath this goal where we focus all our climate change related efforts to minimize risks to our various 10 island communities, of course including the mainland of Rarotonga as well. And this is the planning of the national government. On the local island level, each island is required to produce its own, sustainable development plan based on consultation with the community. So we have 2 levels of planning here. We have the national government planning on the top, and then we also have the local planning, which are undertaken by the island communities to do what they need to grow their island and also to provide security to their citizens, the residents residing on these islands. And all this planning at the local level feeds into the national planning cycle, where they table their priorities through their business plans every year, which government picks it up and takes it to the next level, and then reprioritize according to its own priorities. I'm talking about the national government, and according to its funding sources or funding available, and spreading them over a period of time. So these concerns raised from the local island levels are factored into its own whole of government planning process. I think to summarize this part of my talk, national planning is an important tool for building resilience in our country. But we also it must be inclusive and must consider the needs and inputs of those outside of the main centers. And the second part of my talk will concentrate basically on what are we doing in building resilience in our island communities. We are approaching the problem from different angles. We are continuing efforts to create awareness and inform the island communities of the risk of climate change and also what and how it will impact them. We are also trying to make them understand that it's important they prepare. They also prepare themselves. We also want them to inform them and also to build the capacity to be able to prepare their families and also their community in risk of these events. And what I'm going to do now is I just go through what are the activities that we are actually doing on the field. We are doing, like I say, in different fronts. First, we are building cyclone centers on most of these atolls. At the moment, we have finished 3 cyclone centers. The whole idea is in times of tsunamis or emergencies, there is a place for people to run to and go for protection. Can you, this one here is on the island of Manihiki. And the next one, this is on the island of Puka Puka. It's again just recently constructed cyclone centers to provide security for the island communities in times of disasters. Next one. Okay, we are also going around in all the communities building extra water tanks because most of these islands are small and also prone to risk of drought, and also because they don't have huge reservoirs for water storage. So as you can hear, there's people going around, they are measuring the buildings, so we are able to place the tanks where it should go in consultation with the owners and the residents of the property. There's also, again, dealing with the problem. This is on the island of Naititaki, dealing with their building and improving their water gallery systems. This is water response work that we undertook in last year during the drought. And over there is water well. And there's what you call on the top, there's a yellow water making equipment over there donated by the Red Cross. And on the top, and over here, 20-liter collapsible water containers, which we load up on vehicles and transfer back to water stations where people come, bring their containers back, pick up new one, and go away. There's also another temporary work undertaken on another island again to try and, because of the drought, they're not able to get water through their system and networks, so they are now taking water out of near the sea to reticulate for cleaning and sanitation purposes. Okay, in the energy sector, power stations are constructed on elevated platforms, same as a distribution network. Also, this is surveying a land area in Palmerston Island to build a solar farm, which is, we hope, to have all the islands, the atoll islands, we have installed solar farms on all the northern islands. It's between now and next year. Okay, Mike, can you go on to that one, scroll up and down? That one, open that one. Also, we are also trying to collect as much information on our citizens as we can, on all our residents. Can you just spin up to the bottom? And we have been lucky to have received assistance from PLGF to gather information on all the households on our island. So we engaged the expertise of one staff from the Red Cross to go around to the communities and collect as much information on the island as much as we can. Can you open that file? Doesn't. Okay, what's actually on that farm is on that file is an aerial map of one of the communities where we take information, detailed information on each of the households, including the material is built, the water tanks, the number of people living in it, the communication. So that way we have access to as much information as we have on the residents on the island to improve our response in times of disaster. Right. Yeah. I've been told to wrap up, I think. And I think that's basically all I have to say. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.